This is Thursday, June 28th, 2018, and we are interviewing external organizations who are requesting funding from the City of Watertown. So I will let these folks introduce themselves and talk about their program.
Good morning, everybody. I am Kay Solberg, and with me is Paul Tacker. We are a couple of the officers for the Watertown Business Association, which is a nonprofit organization for the purpose of doing promotions and marketing for the uptown area, which we cover or include the 12 city blocks that is made up based on the Urban Renewal Taxing District. Today we are requesting the same amount of money that we have received from the city for the last several years, and that is $2,000. And that $2,000 we use primarily for the holiday lighted parade, but we also use some of it to promote things like trick-or-treating in the uptown, antiques, and sidewalk sales, those types of promotional things. We are trying to work with a group of business people to set up maybe a fall promotion for next year also. So some of the money would possibly be used for that particular promotion. Our whole goal is to help retailers primarily in the uptown district be more profitable. And as everybody knows right now, retailing as a whole is a challenge compared to what it was before. So having different promotional programs and different ways of marketing ourselves is even more vital than what it was, say, 5 years ago. And so we come today to ask for your support, because we know that as the heart of the city, it is very important not only for the business people that are in this district, but also for the city of Watertown as a whole, because economic development shows that if a community has a thriving center core of its community, the whole community is thriving. And businesses that look at coming into our community take a very strong look at what is happening to the core of their community. And if it's doing good, then everybody becomes successful in that area. And so that's why we feel that it's very important that we have different promotions for these business people to be able to be successful.
I'd like to throw in that it's strictly a volunteer organization, and we have no overhead as far as paying salaries.
Okay. The boundaries are the same as the Urban Renewal District, and we have an Urban Renewal Board. What's the difference, and why are there two separate organizations?
Well, the Urban Renewal Board was established under the HUD guidelines, which is the Housing and Urban Development, and they are primarily that organization is primarily there to help property owners with different kinds of, whether it be housing, whether it be facades, those types of projects. And then the WBA was put together as a promotional arm for the business people, because in some cases, like both Paul's and mine, we are business people and we have property, where there's a lot of business people that do not own the property in which they are. So it's two separate, totally separate entities. They work with two separate groups of people, even though there could be a crossover on a few of them. But a lot of the property is owned, especially in this district, is owned by people that do not have an actual business uptown.
Probably more so than not.
More so than not. Mm-hmm.
Right. Do you think that if those two organizations combine their efforts, and may require some tweaking of our urban renewal ordinance to accomplish it, that they could combine their mission? Because right now the Urban Renewal Board has powers And the city of Watertown is pretty involved with that, and I mean, our ordinances define what they do, and we could certainly include what the Watertown Business Association does as part of it. And are those, how would that be a problem?
I don't know that it would be a problem, but the focus is a little different. One's bricks and mortar, and the other is retail or promotional ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of work hand in hand, but you can be dealing with people that really, all they're worried about their building and maybe renting it, whether that person's successful or not. That may or may not be what their real goal is, I guess. I don't know how you'd say it, but.
And I would venture to guess if you ask a lot of property owners that are not also business owners, they don't want to be involved in what kinds of promotions there are. They're more worried about roofings, facades, whether they have a sign, those kinds of things. So the interests are really totally different.
Although the building owners would want thriving businesses downtown, because then they can increase their rent.
They would hope so. They would hope so. I don't know that that's always true, though. But, I lost what I was going to say. We'll keep going, I guess.
I just think that there's, even though, at one point, the Urban Renewal Board put so much money every month into a pot, and the WBA put some money every year into the pot, and we hired a part-time position that would help do things for both entities.
Mm-hmm.
But I really think the missions of the two groups are totally different, and I just think that more things could be accomplished by having the two entities work. Because I think we work together pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I just think their missions are different, and so by having the two entities, I think it's better to.
Communication would be.
Yeah, I think
two.
there's a communication
That would be important to have it, though.
opportunity. I'm not criticizing either organization, and I personally, being new to it, I'm confused by who does what and who knows what and how to get the word out and who to get the word out to, that sort of thing. So your program is promotion. How do you measure the success of your promotions?
Well, I guess usually we try to follow up by asking different ones that participated in different ones. There again, some promotions, for example, and I know we had this discussion the other day, Crazy Days used to be a great big thing. Yes, it did. But Crazy Days all over is not what it used to be. And so we've gone to more just calling it sidewalk sales. Even that whole concept, to give you an example, even if it was a very strong promotion, it's still not a promotion that everybody, like Paul's business and my business, having a year or end of season clearance sale type of promotion, which Crazy Days really is not something that's going to benefit either one of our businesses. But if you're a retail business that has summer clothes, those types of things, you need that kind of thing to be able to get rid of the end of the season merchandise and be able to move on to the next one. So not every promotion that any group has is ever going to be of a benefit to everybody that's within your group. On the other hand, the Holiday Light Parade is an easy one to see how successful it is, because the numbers that come grow. The hotel motels, they see increased visitation into theirs. So this particular promotion, while it's held uptown, they see a big benefit to them for having this promotion. We see a lot of people from all the way around Watertown come into town for that. And as a retailer, during the day, we see a lot of those people in our shops, and we know that the sales on that Black Friday become successful because of that. And a lot of times people will come for Thanksgiving, they'll stay through the weekend, they take part in that promotion.
Mhm.
And so
Have you ever tried to do a count or anything like that? Like number of floats that are participating in it?
Oh,
or?
Yeah, we
oh,
have
we
that.
keep track
Yeah.
of that, and that has increased every year.
Yep.
Yeah.
And just to reiterate, it's not WPA's Holiday Lighted Parade, it's it's the city of Watertown's
Mhm.
Holiday Lighted Parade. We're just happen to be the people that are fortunate enough to coordinate it.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's a lot of work, so thank you.
but it's fun work, and like when each year we pick a theme, and we can tell when the theme is something that's easy for people to for their creative minds to start working. Also, we see a lot of groups that have floats and stuff are not retail orientated people, just because this is a busy time
Sure.
for the retailers. So it's a way of getting different groups to all participate in the different groups. And there again, we don't charge anything for them to be in the Holiday Lighted Parade, but they get prizes for the top 8 particular floats. And so, I guess usually we talk to the PD to find out after the parade what kinds of suggestions and things they've seen, because they are located in several different areas of the parade route, and whether they think the crowd's big or whether it's not. The CVB also kind of takes I don't know, usually they're in the parade, and they come back and usually tell me that this year it seems like the numbers are up, or wherever. So we kind of get feedback as to if the crowds are larger, and then floats in there again. When we have a theme that's easy for people to be creative with, then it seems like our numbers increase. And of course, the weather has a lot to do with
The
it.
floats increase. The weather has a huge
The weather is,
effect on it.
right.
Yeah.
We've been fortunate the last few years.
And because, if the 2 days before the parade is really, really nice, that Friday even, I will have people call and say, "Okay, can we still get in?"
Yeah.
And of course, our answer is, of course. Might have to be towards the end, but we will let anybody in.
Yep.
Because if they work hard enough to put their float together, they should be allowed to be in it. And everybody has a good time with it. It's a fun type of promotional.
Yeah.
And the feedback comes from the people that actually have the floats. At the end, when we retrieve the signs, we'll talk to everybody as they go by, and they'll say, "Yeah, really big crowd," or "had a lot of fun," whatever comments they have, but never had negative comments.
Mm-hmm. And don't some of the floats then go up and use their decorations in the Winter Wonderland?
Yes.
Yes.
So that's a great partnership.
Oh, it is. And before they got started, they came to us and they said, "We just want you to know that we're not trying to take away anything from the parade, and how can we get it set up so that the people that are in the parade maybe can work into our display." And
Yes.
so it's been a really good way to capture those same things. I think they said there were like 15 floats that were in the parade that had exhibits out at which I think is
mutually beneficial
Right.
arrangement.
Yep.
right, because you have to take a look at floats. Sometimes have a lot of people on them. Well, if you have a lot of people on your float, you're probably not going to have it just turn it into a display out there. But if you don't have it set up that way, then it's really easy to take it out there and set it up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, for the business people, it's a good way to advertise your club or your business or whatever.
Sure. Yep.
And so,
What do you think your greatest challenge is as an organization?
probably to get more involvement from the different businesses.
Being a volunteer organization, involvement's always a challenge.
And especially from people who are going to say they will do something and will follow through with.
Mm-hmm. What's your vision for the future of your organization, and do you have any ideas for future fundraising?
Well, we try to write some grants, and I've written several different grants over the years to try to generate more money so that it doesn't become more of a burden for the business people to have to fork out more money. You know, there's a lot of, we're mom and pop businesses most time, and we don't have a lot of extra money to be able to do all the things we'd sure love to do. To get more involvement in the different things. We are, you know, we're registered with the IRS. That costs money to do. We are registered with the state. We have insurance on all of our events that we pay for every year. We're members of the Glacier Lakes Tourism so that we can put things out there, and you know, they help promote. We register all of our stuff with the South Dakota Tourism, all of our events, and with the AAA Travel Guide. I mean, so as an organization, we try to do as many things as we can to get us publicity on different people's lists so that people know we're here and we're functioning, and they should come uptown and see what kinds of things that we have to offer. And that's why, you know, the more things that we can do that way, I think the better off everybody will be.
Mm-hmm. So you're asking for $2,000. That's what you got last year, and that's probably been your request for
The last several years.
the last several years. Doesn't look like you've had a raise
No.
for a
And-
long time.
No, and I guess we know that there are lots of organizations asking for money.
Mhm.
We feel we can do it for this, and so we would love to be able to have the $2,000.
Okay.
Yep.
Any final parting word to people who might be watching this?
Just that we appreciate the support that you have given us in the past. We really think that the promotions, you know, we've tried different promotions. For 5 years,
Not
we did
all are successful.
not all
Some
success.
are.
We did an art festival for 5 years in a row, and I don't know why, but even if we always did it in June, and we picked different weekends in June, and for some reason it was always windy or heck or it'd rain or something, and finally after 5 years we just said maybe we should go on to something else or do something.
And you're
different.
competing against other things that are happening in the surrounding areas that everybody's got busy summers.
Right.
So.
Right.
It's true.
And that's why, you know, when I met with a group of people that wanted to do a fall thing, and so we just don't feel we could get it off base for this year, but we will have it for 2019, and so some of this money we will direct over to that particular promotion. And but we're going to start doing some marketing. We're going to save the date type of things for like the Brookings Art Festival to see if we could get some vendors from down in that direction
Oh, yeah, good
to
idea.
come up and do some of those things. And we're working with a couple gals who are very active with some of the other outside vendors that would be a draw there with that. So we just have to try some different things to see what works.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for all you do. Appreciate it. I know that it's a small amount of money that you're asking for, but the city, in general, our community benefits from your efforts very much. So we appreciate that.
Well, we certainly hope that everybody feels that what we do is worthwhile.
Yeah. Thank
We
you.
only have so many hours to give to.
Right. All right.